Toffee TV, it is the player ratings. Everton 1, Luton Town 2. Yeah, peak Everton this, isn't it? This is absolutely peak Everton. A good week absolutely ruined by a horrible Everton display. They've only got the players and the manager have only got themselves to blame. The players were dreadful, absolutely dreadful, and we'll obviously come on to them individually, but just a dreadful performance. I thought the manager set us up far too negatively. I know people will maybe agree, disagree, whatever, but it's a pattern, isn't it? It's not a one-off. It's a pattern. 4 defeats at home to start the season. 7 defeats out of 8, I think it is, at home now. That's a disgrace. That's a disgrace for anybody. And I honestly, you look at the home record and you look at the away record, this manager knows how to set us up away from home, but he hasn't got a clue at home. He's not got any kind of positive tactics. And this, firmly put this on his days at Burnley. I really do. Of every home game being up against it, so you've got to set your team up in a certain way. Everton should have 9 points. Not from our performances, but I think we should have 9 points from our four home games. I really do. Or at least 7. And we've got none. We've got 1 goal. And it's not on. The manager doesn't know how to set it up. Today, he had lots of options, and he couldn't have set us up more negatively. I think personally, if you're going to play James Garner, then take one of the centre midfielders out. Take Decore out. Take Garner Gay out, whoever. But don't shuffle him in on the right hand side, knowing you haven't got a fullback who's going to go high. If you're going to play someone on the right wing, right midfield, you have to have a fullback that overlaps. And in Ashley Young, we haven't got that. To me, that's the pressure's all on next week now on Bournemouth. And honestly, if we don't win that game, how can anybody hand on heart feel like the manager should be still at this football club if he doesn't win next week? If he doesn't win one of his first 5 games, when you look at the 5 teams we've played on paper, how? That is, so all the pressure now becomes on next week, and then that game becomes tenser. Today was, as the game went on, it got tenser. A lot of people thought we were going to steamroll Luton, but you could see straight away what they were going to do. It was all 5 at the back, it was all old school, it was all time wasting, it was all, the lad up front probably gave Branthwaite his toughest game he's played for a very long time. And we fell for every trick. And I know, listen, don't get me wrong. We had lots of opportunities and we spurned big opportunities. I appreciate that. We could have been 5-0 up, although, not 5-0 up. We had 5 opportunities early on. But none of them, you've got to be hitting the target, haven't you? You've got to hit the target. None of our shots hit the target. Till I think we went, well, not even when we went behind, Garner hit the crossbar with the header. Second half, we get the goal just before our time. Second half, we didn't have a shot on target, bar Dominic Calvert-Lewin's one that got blocked. That's dreadful. He changed the team at half time. He took Idrissa Gana Gay off, and actually we couldn't win a tackle once he went off. We couldn't win the ball back. I was used to, if we were 2-1 down at our time, we would just live in there. We'd camp in their half in the second half. We were just camping it. We never camped in the half, second half. It was all sporadic. They kept on winning the ball back and taking us to the corner and winning throws, delaying the game. I honestly don't understand what the manager was trying to do today. I don't know what he was trying to... Decore was going on the left wing and then McNeil was coming central. I understand they were playing almost negative football, but why wouldn't you? That's what they've set up for. They've set up for a smash and grab, and they've got it, and we've give it to them. Honestly, I just can't understand. The manager for me, his tactics are so negative. I just don't get it. We needed real width today. We needed for me to open the spaces up in the middle of the field. We needed to create pockets of space by dragging the forward line as wide, or their defence, as wide as we could. We didn't. We just kept on going inside and making it even more congested and more congested. And the second half, all we did was play long balls, which they were made up with because they had a load of Groks playing centre back. I honestly, and when you can say, and people will say, well, it's on the players. Yeah, it's on the players. I appreciate that. But the manager, it's the manager's job to create scenarios of play that get you into winning games of football, and he simply doesn't for me. We're all right. We're away from home. We press. We play on the counter attack. Our players today just didn't look like they understood what their job was. And to me, all it is like he's got his favourites, and he wants to get James Garner in the team. We'll take someone out then, sacrifice someone, make a change. Don't just throw in all the players and see if it works. It doesn't work at home. It does not work at home. You need to be a bit expansive. Second half, obviously brought Jack Harrison on second half, but then he actually took off probably the midfielder we needed, and it's just a kind of gay. He's got to be prepared to sacrifice players. And I just think he got it all wrong, and his home record suggests he gets it wrong quite a lot at home. And the defending, Ashley, I mean, I'll come on to individuals, but Ashley Young, what are you doing? Why are you taking a touch? And Michalenko, defending for this. Like, Michalenko's got two players. Why has Michalenko got two players? Who set that up? Who set Michalenko up to have two players? Like, he's not even marking the lad who scores. And then the ball goes over his head and he switches attention to him, and he's already two yards off him. And he finishes it brilliantly. Fair play to him. There was almost too many options for the manager after the week. There's too many. Jack Harrison played well centre midfield. Or he played well last week away on the right, but it was away. It's like, you're going to have to come up with your best team. That's not our best team today. That is not our best team. You've got to make decisions to put your best team out. You've got to be ruthless. Well, maybe he thinks he has been ruthless, but James Garner playing on the right-hand side at home is not ruthless. If you want to play him sensibly. The whole thing's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. Brilliant opportunity today, but one we had to get over. A game that we had to get over. To sell the thing to people. 2 away wins, great. Now go and beat Luton. Doesn't have to be 5-0. Just have to be a win. Just have to be score a couple of goals, win the game. No. Concede 2 first half goals, and then basically that was Luton then, wasn't it? We scored a scruffy goal, and then it's like, well, can we break Luton down? And the answer is no. We could not break Luton down to get 2 goals. That to me is on the manager, because he coaches these players. The players, in terms of in front of goal, it's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. That's on them. The chances we missed, some of the headers, Beto in the second half. Jesus. Why are you jumping? The players, as I said, the players they were woeful today. They wanted it more as well. You could see that. They wanted every tackle. They wanted it. All the old school tricks. They wanted it. But if you set up teams to play like that, that's what's going to happen. It will always fall on the manager. If you set a team up, for me, in my eyes, I know people say it wasn't negative. I thought it was negative because it didn't create the space for us in my eyes, to get better clear-cut chances. As I said, I thought the way we played meant we had to go down the middle, which suited them brilliantly. It really did. So that's a real low point for me today. A real low. 4 home games, though. 4 home defeats. That's dreadful. That is dreadful. I don't care who you are. I don't care what manager you are. I don't care what club you manage. That is dreadful. And that's where we are right now. And next week, obviously, it's huge. It's huge now. And all the pressure's on us now. All the pressure's on us. It's honestly, it's shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I can't sit here and I know I've seen people saying, oh, well, we've made the chances, blah, blah, blah. No, it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. It's one home win. One home. You've got to go back to his first couple of home games. One home game win since then. That is dreadful. Do we have standards at this football club? I keep saying this. Do we have standards? I was walking back to the car thinking, look at the scenes that we seen at Ajax last week. Like, look at the scene. Like, our players got clapped off. Why are they getting clapped off? They were absolutely shite. And they're being clapped off. What are you clapping them off for? They were terrible. Absolutely terrible. I don't get it. I don't understand what fans want. I don't understand what fans' standards are. I really don't. Don't understand what their standards are. So, and if you don't think it's the manager and think it's the players, why are you clapping them off? I'll never understand that. People boo and then they clap the players because the players come over. No, go away. Go away. Go down the tunnel and go away. You were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Just shocking. Sorry, but just shocking. Let's get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford hasn't had to make a save. Hasn't had to make a save all day. Gets unlucky on the first one because he gets, it sort of hits him on the back, I think. But it shouldn't really have mattered. Not much you can do with the second one. Yeah. 6.5 for Jordan Pickford. Ashley Young, manager's favourite. Not having a go on him, but what's he doing? For the goal, by the way? What's he doing? Why is he taking a touch? Why isn't he just putting his foot through it? The minute it drops, why isn't he putting his foot through it? Again, ground duels 4-1-1. Dreadful today. Dreadful. Just, why is he? Yeah. I don't quite understand why he's playing I don't. But 4. Michalenko, second goal, should do well better. Defensively, for the most of the game, fine. 9 out of 9 duels won. 1 out of 3 aerial duels won. Was asked to get up and down that left-hand side today, and to be fair to him, he did. Touches 114, so he's had quite a lot of the ball. Crosses 5, only 1 accurate, so he was asked to do a lot more attacking work today. But for the second goal, he was poor for the second goal. And if you're gonna be asked to do more attacking work, you've got to be able to do it, haven't you? It's fine saying get into the final third, but you've got to actually do something when you are in the final third. And he didn't, to be honest. He didn't. So 5 for Michalenko. James Tarkowski won 2 out of 4 ground duels, 3 out of 6 aerial duels. Both centre backs had a bit of a tough day today. James Brantwaite even more so. Interesting tactic once again by the manager by playing him up front at the end of the game. Both of them didn't have a great game. I didn't think personally, but James Tarkowski I'll give 6.5. Brantwaite probably his hardest game today, I'd say. He did win 4 out of his 6 ground duels, but he only won 4 of his 8 aerial duels. It was a tough day for Branthwaite today. I thought the lad they had up front really gave him a tough time, like an old school like tough time. So it was a lesson for him today, Branthwaite, a real lesson for him. In terms of physical games, he won't have much tougher than today, I'd say. Like he wasn't dreadful by any means, but there was shaky moments for him. Which he has to just learn from, doesn't he? He has to learn from that. He has to learn, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, you learn by every game you play, so he has to learn from that. Sometimes you'll play against silky defenders, and sometimes you'll play against players like Morris, who are old school, have come through the leagues, and not gonna have a go at the lad. He's making the most of his attributes. Morris, he scored a good goal today. He's got 3 for the season, so he's doing what he needs to do. But it was a difficult day for Branthwaite, so 5.75 for him. Onana, 106 touches, which again a lot for a player for us. 84% possession, 7 ground duels won, 5 out of 8 aerial duels. So wasn't terrible, wasn't awful by any means. Never, wasn't sort of didn't have the same impact he did in the last 2 games, but certainly wasn't terrible. Very congested in there. As I said, he did have a lot of the ball. 84% pass accuracy, key passes won. Difficult sometimes to make an assessment on some players in a game like that, where the ball just seems to be a little bit all over the place. I didn't think he was like, he wasn't terrible. It just wasn't in the game as much. But no, he was in the game because he had a hell of a lot of touches. But what didn't that again? Massive influence on the way we played. But I would give Onana 6.8. Adesina Gay obviously went off at half time. 54 touches, again a lot for the first half. 86% possession, won 4 out of 4 ground duels, 1 out of 2 aerial duels, and it was a bit of a stick and twist with the Adesina Gay, because being 2-1 down, you could understand. I can understand the manager thinking, right, well, I can put James Garner on the middle. We're all right in there. We can get another body wide. But to be honest, it simply didn't work. We didn't seem to have as much domination in the midfield, or win the ball back enough when Garner went off for Adesina Gay. So he was obviously off the pitch. The managers decided to move James Garner centrally. I don't think it particularly worked. I don't think we had the energy in there that maybe what Adesina Gay brings here. I think there was too much, not enough drive from the centre of the midfield. Garner likes to get the ball and play nice little passes. I don't think there was enough drive from the midfield. So it felt like we missed them in that second half. It really did. So I'll give Adesina Gay 6.2. James Garner himself, James Garner didn't have a bad game. 58 touches. So, it's not loads considering as many as Onana's had. Should have scored in the first half for me. He should have scored in the first half. It's a good ball by Decore. He sets it on his right foot, pulls it back to his left foot, and you've got to hit the target, or just smash it with your right foot, or just smash it with your left foot. I just don't think he had when he moved inside, I don't think he had enough influence on the game. Really. I just don't think he's influenced the game enough and I think the manager's put a lot of faith in him today, because I think he's built the team, the formation around James Garner today. If you've got James Garner and you like him, then play him in the midfield. Take someone out the midfield. And put Garner in there then, if that's what you feel. But don't set your team up because you want James Garner in the side. Put him in the side then. Put him in the side where you want him in the side, not putting him on the right. It doesn't work when your fullback is Ashley Young. It really doesn't. And obviously he's changed that at our time by bringing Harrison on, but if you want him in there, play him in there then. Change the way we play. But don't stick him out on the right and then go, oh, you can go inside. If he goes inside, it's another player inside the field. It works if you've got a fullback who goes past them. Ashley Young doesn't go past them. Maybe Patterson does, but he doesn't. So it doesn't work. And it's fine. So it's horses for courses. Seen people saying to me, well, you don't change your winning side, obviously from the Brentford game, but it's a home game. You play in a different way. The opposition are playing 5 at the back. You've got to come up with different ways of playing. So I don't think James Garner had any influence on the game today at all, apart from he should have put us ahead. Simple as that. So I'll give James Garner 6.5. On the other side, Dwight McNeil. I didn't think he was particularly good today, I must admit. I didn't think he had a particularly good game. 74 touches, 5 out of 11 ground duels won, 2 aerial duels. Again, another one. I mean, the volley he had. I mean, I could see exactly what he was doing there, but he just needed a little bit of whip. It was a decent opportunity, a decent effort. Sorry, 83% for Dwight McNeil. I just don't think he was in the game enough. I don't quite understand what the position was either he was playing in. I really don't. I just think the manager was having the Corey going on the left and him coming in central. I thought we needed to stretch them. I thought we needed width, and certainly on that left hand side where Mikalenko is not a good attacking fullback. I thought Dwight McNeil could have been the key to unlocking them today, coming off the left-hand side, starting on the left-hand side, picking the ball up and coming in the inside. But he didn't, because he was inside far too much. So he was picking the ball up inside and he had nowhere to go because he's left-footed. He's got nowhere to go. He can only go left. Once you're inside, there's very, very few places you can go once you're inside. So I just thought the manager should have started them. Should have made them play on the left hand side, or swap them over and play them on the right hand side and swap them over. I didn't get that today. I didn't get the position under Dwight McNeil. Again, it's not necessarily his fault as such for where he was played, but second half he didn't really deliver much. And I thought like the crossing as well from both. By the way, not just him, but I'd like to have seen. Like crosses put in front of people. I didn't think we had too much of that today. Like real crosses in front of people that people can run onto. There wasn't any of that today. There was, and I'm just trying to see what he had in terms of crosses. One, we had 8 crosses, and 1 was accurate. Of course, that's not always on him. That's not always on the player, because that's not how it works. You need people in the box. But, Dwight McNeil, 6.3. Abdoulaye Doucouré, again, spent far too much time on that left-hand side. Far too much that time. Obviously played an hour, but far too much time on that left-hand side. Just wasn't in the game enough for me. 48 touches, Did he get the assist? I think he got the. Well, I don't think he got the assist, but he certainly did assist the goal. But wasn't in the game enough. Again, I don't know where he was. Where was he playing? Like second half, where he started sort of like as almost playing two up front, and he was the second striker, and that allowed the manager to make the change. I just didn't know where he was playing first half. Just playing on the left hand side. You know, and his heat map, he is predominantly on the left hand side. I just didn't get where he was playing today. I just don't know. Don't know how and when you talk about the manager and not individuals, this is what we're talking about. Like, I've got no idea where he was playing. Like, if in the first half, certainly. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get where he was playing at all. So, the core 5.75. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got his goal. Did all right. Didn't really seem to work when him and Beto were up front together. Don't know, just didn't seem to work. Neither of them really got many chances. He only actually had 2 shots on target. One was the goal, I think, and one was the one in the second half. So again, isolated. Not getting enough people around them, and that's what annoyed me today. For all the chances in the first half, we didn't really have too many. Like, we didn't get the ball into Dom and then have players around the box enough for me. I give Dom a 7 because he scored, but again, as I said, I just thought the setup today was just dead weird. And again, it's good that he got his goal, but we're not making them chances, or we just didn't make any chances second half, sadly. The subs, Jack Harrison thought he did quite well. 8 out of 9 accurate passes, very lively. Looks like will work hard. 6 crosses, 2 accurate. I'd actually have liked to have seen him at some point cross over onto the other side, so he was crossing in the box from the byline. He did actually give us width, but we weren't supporting him either. Again, we weren't supporting him because the fullback wasn't going past them. So it was almost like the same problem. Keep on banging the drum about this all the time, about the fullbacks. You've got to have fullbacks in any age, not just a modern game. In any age where they go past the player to give them space. So he looked all right. And to be honest, he probably should have started the game. Won 3 out of 5 ground duels. He'll work hard. He probably should have started the game, but I can understand why he didn't. Yeah, he did all right. A very sort of controlled player who knows exactly what he wants to do, which is unusual for us to have a player like that. So it's definitely going to be more to come from Jack Harrison. So yeah, 6.8. The other subs, Beto didn't really work, although we did miss a couple of good opportunities. He did miss a couple of really good opportunities. There was a couple of headers. One, he puts it over the bar, and then there's the second one, I think, where he jumped too early and completely mistimed the header. He actually had 4 shots off target when he came on. So for him, it really was a case of missed opportunities. But is he the type of player that you can bring on as a sub? Does he look like the kind of player you can get up to speed in games? Well, he did have opportunities. He has made a mess of a couple of his opportunities there. That maybe another day he scores, or maybe later on in the season he scores. I don't know, but he did have opportunities. He just made a mess of them, if I'm frankly honest. And the opportunity fell to him rather than Dom, really. So Beto a 6. Patterson, who came on for the last 12 minutes, plus 7. So 2 out of 5. Ground Jules 1. Probably should have started the game. To get up and down that right-hand side. 19 touches. 1 cross, 1 out of 1. Probably should have started the game, but yeah. So I'd give Nathan Patterson 6.3. Danjuma played 1 really nice. Didn't do much. And again, what did he play? 14 minutes. Not sure the manager particularly likes him, I think, by the looks of it, but I don't know. With him being the last sub when we were desperate for a goal. Put 1 good cross in, or sort of volleyed cross. Only had 10 touches, yeah. Give him a 6. Not much he could do, but someone has to be in there to put them in, don't they? So, yeah, there you go. Just dreadful. Just a dreadful game. Just a dreadful game. So, I don't really know what to say. Next week's going to be huge. Next week's going to be huge for us. If we don't win next week, then I honestly don't know what to think. I honestly don't. I honestly don't know what to think. Is it the manager? Is it the players? I just know that you can't not win. You can't lose the first 4 games. You just can't. That's simply what I know. So I don't know whether there's no sort of, the way Goodison is now, it's such a high pressured place to play because they don't win games and haven't for the last couple of years, that our players probably feel like they're under pressure straight away. But as fans, what can we do? We're watching our team lose games every single week at Goodison Park. Like, this is the worst ever. This is the worst ever spell I've ever seen as an Everton fan. It feels like, anyway. It feels like. So the opposition can come and they can set up and they can frustrate and they can throw themselves on the ground and they can hold the faces and all that kind of stuff. It builds the pressure, but that's on the players and the manager to take that pressure away. So, as a team, it's up to the manager and the players to find a way to beat these sides. And they're not. And if they're not, then the manager will have to be replaced at some point. That's just the simple way it works. Players don't get replaced. If you can't find a way to beat teams, then what is there to say? So next week will be our 5th home game, and if we haven't won one of our first 5, then the writing will be on the wall. Especially when you look at the teams that we've got to play in November and December. So, and that was crap today as well. I know people go, look at all the chances we made, but it was crap. It was crap. And I know people go, we should have won today, and we should have won that game, and we should have won that game, but we didn't. And ultimately, all the manager's paid for is to win games. That's all he's paid for, is to beat teams. So, this better get sorted, and it better get sorted soon. Otherwise, we will find ourselves in a mess. And it's already starting to feel like that. Well, it does feel like that as far as I'm concerned. Because I've been to all the home games, and I haven't seen my team win a game. And I've seen our team score 1 goal, which we didn't even celebrate. Because it was didn't even know it was a goal till they did the VAR, but no one celebrated, no one even announced, didn't even say it was a goal till after the VAR. So yeah, it's not. It's mad the way it can flip suddenly from being bad to good, and I hope it flicks back to good again. But if we lose next week, then sorry, but I can't see how this manager can continue. And that's because of the whole, as I said, that's the whole thing. That's losing. That's losing 5 games. Simple as that. It's a home. The home record is unforgivable. It's unforgivable. So we know what we can do away from home. We know that. But as I said on my instant match reaction, you're not going to do that. You're not going to pick up points away from home all the time. So we'll see what happens anyway. There you go. Make sure you check out Baz's videos. Make sure you check out my instant match reaction if you haven't already. And listen, fair play to Luton. They came and they've done the job. And they've seen it through. And the fans have absolutely loved it. So fair play to them. Fair play to them. There you go. Yeah, check out Baz's videos. We'll be live on Toffee TV, on YouTube, on Monday at 1 o'clock. And then the final word will be over on Toffee TV Premiere at around 3 o'clock. So we'll see you all then. See you later.